What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Common Sense Living, the show where we dive into financial and economic trends, gold and silver, and different business topics. So, in today's video, I want to talk about beef prices. What's going on a little bit in that market? What story is coming out and being told, and other factors that really aren't considering in terms of why we're in this position or this predicament today. With beef prices have gone up the last few years, and really not pulling back at all. They continue to just go up and up. Now, we saw earlier this year, January, February, egg prices, they went up like crazy, but they've pulled back, and we've seen it with other food, other goods as well. Things are still obviously historically high for so many things, but we have seen a pullback in so many different markets. But beef is one that we're not seeing it in. And right now, the story that's coming out, that's being pushed, that's not a lie necessarily, but it's not the whole truth exactly of what's going on in the market. And that's really that it's the weather, that it's a drought, and that um, ranchers are shrinking their cattle herds just due to the weather. But there's other factors there that are not really coming out and not being discussed in these articles. Um, for example, one huge factor is the fact that the government has not came out and the government has not put incentives in there for these ranchers to increase their cattle. It's not there. There's no tax rebates that they're getting, no new incentive. There's that push out there to actually shrink that and get rid of meat. Um, Now we're seeing other products as well, getting all sorts of tax breaks and other things. Like if you think of the product Beyond Beef, that's supposed to taste exactly like ground beef, if you've ever seen that in the grocery store. Things like that are really being supported in Washington, whereas ground beef, or it's something that it's not on the good side of the government right now. Now, one other factor to consider in all this is supply chains. What we're seeing right now in Ukraine, with the war. Now, I could do a whole segment on how we shouldn't be there, how this should be settled already, how it could escalate to something much worse. But the bottom line there is that grain exports from Ukraine, they've shrunk dramatically. That's factoring into ranchers' decisions to not go out and increase their herds and increase essentially their supply that they could give to the market. One other thing that is not that's relevant too is that the number of meat packers out there, it's very small. There's only a few of them out there, and this is almost getting into monopoly territory, but the government's not choosing to come in and actually look at this. No one can really uh, you know negotiate price with these meat packers. um, that's something that only a few, the big companies could go out there and really negotiate with them. So this is a story that I'll continue to watch because I am a huge fan of beef and ground beef, steaks, all sorts of stuff. And right now we're seeing that they're we're seeing within the trends that a lot of people are moving to less premium cuts. They're getting away from that. I went into the restaurant the other day and a fillet was going for like 50, $60. I mean, it's just getting into the territory where beef and really good steaks, that could be something that we're only able to eat once a month, or maybe once a year eventually down the road. It seems crazy, but we could get to that territory. So let me know anything else in the comments about this business. I'm obviously not an expert on this, but I like to track different areas of the economy to see what's going on. If you know anything, you have any specific knowledge on this, definitely let me know. Put it in the comments. And as always, appreciate the time. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Thanks.